Hi guys, welcome back to my kitchen and to my home. It's been forever that I haven't filmed a video. So excited to be back. It's been a really long while, so to start I decided to come back with something really easy. Today I'm going to make pickled jalapenos. Well, actually I'm going to make pickled jalapenos and pickled cucumbers, but you can use this method for pickling just about any vegetable you can think of. It's so easy to make, so simple. Like honestly, after I discovered that I can pickle vegetables, I stopped buying pickles because it's that easy. So let's get started. I'm going to pickle the jalapenos two ways. So whole jalapenos like this and diced jalapenos like this. Just make sure that when you dice them, don't dice them too thinly because they will shrink and they will shrivel when you add the vinegar solution and when they become pickles basically. So make sure that this is about ½ centimeter. And I'm going to make another batch with whole jalapenos. So you need to put them in a mason jar, a glass mason jar, and you need to fill it up all the way through. Just like so. And by the way, if you don't have a mason jar, if you have recycled glass jars, you can definitely use them. They work perfectly for pickling. So what I did, this is an old cream cheese glass jar. So I washed it and sterilized it, and you can definitely use this for pickling. Just make sure that they have the lid because you need to close them tightly. Now I'm going to use the whole jalapenos. So again, I will place them in my glass container. I'm going to pack them tightly because when you add the vinegar solution, they are, like I said, going to shrink. And so make sure you put as many in there as you can. And now I'm going to use those baby cucumbers. Again, I'm just going to place them in the glass jar. I didn't mention this, but I obviously washed the vegetables very thoroughly. And I also washed and sterilized the jars. Same thing, we're going to pack them tightly. And now we're ready to pour the vinegar solution. Right, now for the liquid that we're going to pour on the vegetables to turn them into pickles. So it's just 4 ingredients that you can use for any vegetable, like I said: vinegar, water, salt, and sugar. So we need equal amount of water and vinegar. For this amount of pickles, I'm going to use about 1.5 cups of each, water and vinegar. But you can adjust it according to how much you're making. And for each cup of vinegar or water, so basically for each cup of whichever one you're using, you're going to use 1 tablespoon of salt and 1 tablespoon of sugar. Again, you can definitely adjust these amounts as per your taste. If you find it too salty, just add less salt or sugar. And so I'm going to add about 1.5 tablespoons of salt and an equal amount of sugar, or maybe less. I'll just add 1 tablespoon of sugar. You can, by the way, omit the sugar altogether if you don't like the sweetness in the pickles. I'm just going to mix it until the sugar and the salt dissolve, and then let it come to a boil. And when the brine starts to boil, that's it. Just remove it from the heat and we'll pour it over our vegetables. Now we're going to pour the brine over the jalapenos while the brine is still hot. And you want to fill it all the way to the top, leaving just ½ inch from the rim. And then using the handle of the spoon, just remove any air bubbles in there. That's it. And if you like to add flavoring to your pickles, you can definitely add some spices or a garlic cloves. You can even add onions if you want. So what I'll do here is I'll add a clove of garlic, which I'll crush very lightly, and that's it. Just put it on the top, and that's it. The pickles are now ready. So now what I'll do is I'll let them cool down completely to room temperature before I store them in the fridge. And they should be ready to eat in 2 to 3 days, maybe a week. I suggest you taste it after a couple of days. If you feel that it's not ready, just leave it longer. Now for the cucumbers. So now the brine has cooled down completely. I will pop them in the fridge and store them until they're ready to eat.